Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Soma Sports Podcast. I am Benny. I'm here with
Brandon, Philip.
We're going to start with recapping some Soma Spring sports, and let's get started. A lot of exciting games start off the season. I'm going to get started. Girls flag football also got to call this game their home opener against John Jay, and fortunately it was John Jay who showed up there with their new coach and dominated most of the game. Someone's made it close more towards the end, but John Jay wound up taking it 40-20.
And also that same day, girls Lax away versus Rye. They lost to Rye 16-4.
For varsity baseball on the 28th, Somers took on Horace Greeley. They actually won varsity baseball 12-0. Now on to junior varsity baseball. Somers unfortunately did lose to Mayapack 9-3.
And now going on to girls lacrosse, their second game of the season after a rough loss to Rye. They were able to take this one, beating North Rockland 12-10.
And on March 31st, girls flag football lost to John Jay 19-6.
So now we're on to the first day of April. We have Somers taking on Horace Greeley. Horace Greeley unfortunately did win 33-7.
And now on to the girls lacrosse home opener. This was the first lacrosse game I got to ever call, and I learned a lot in this game. And it was Fox Lane who unfortunately took this one in a nail biter, 12-11. Somers was down 5-1. They came back, eventually tied the game up, but Fox Lane was able to pull ahead at the end and take this one by 1.
Yeah, on April 3rd, Somers played against Scarsdale for lacrosse. Somers beat Scarsdale 17-4. I want to note, I believe my halftime prediction for that game was 16-3, so I was very close there.
And now let's go to our post-game interview for that game.
Alright, so I'm here with
JJ Penza, Logan Ruby.
and how do you feel about yours and the team's performance today?
Amazing. We passed the ball well, got the balls, 100% on the face-offs. Great game. Yeah, it really just goes in like practice. We worked really hard, and we absolutely dominated on the field.
And what is something that you think you should work on for the next game this Saturday?
I would say we gotta work a little bit more on ground balls. We had a few scumbles over there, trying to get the ball, and just wasn't in our favor. We did get a lot of them, but I think we gotta work on them a little bit more. Like our coach was telling us at halftime, we were a little bit jumpy out there. Playing a little we like to play fast, but we were playing a little bit too fast. A little bit uncontrolled. So if we slow that down, get a little bit more controlled, I think we can beat anybody.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Have a good day.
All right, now we're on to girls flag football. Somers versus Walter Panis. Walter Panis did lose, and Somers came out on top 20-0.
And finally, last night we had Somers taking on Tuckahoe. It was the first ever game on the new turf for the Tuskers. Unfortunately, the score was 5-3. Tuskers leading, and then Tuckahoe hits a grand slam and winds up taking this one 7-5. And now let's go to our post-game interviews from that game.
All right, so I am here with,
Coach JT Genovese.
and how do you feel yours and the team's performance was today?
I think it was a little bit of a letdown. I think we kind of rode the highs a little too much and rode the lows too much, and before you knew it, we were in the 6th inning. Game was ending, and we didn't really know what was going to happen. So I think we just kind of had a little bit of a hangover from yesterday.
And what will you do to prepare for the next game?
We're going to have to gut it out. We've got 3 games in 3 days. We're going to have to go at them. We're going to test these guys and see what they're about. But that's it. Preparation, we prepare, we do everything. We have 3 weeks of practice. We're there. It's just about being there mentally.
All right, well, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Next up, we have our March Madness Final 4 game predictions. I'll start us off with Duke versus Houston. I have Houston winning 84-79.
Yeah, Duke, they're just too good with Cooper Flag. I see Duke taking this one by 8, 93-85. And now on to Florida versus Auburn, our other Final Four game. And I got Florida taking this one by 2 in a nail-biter, 86-84.
And then I have Auburn winning 86-78.
And finally, for a championship, I'll go first. I got Duke over Florida, winning it by 4. And Duke, just like I predicted in the bracket, I still think is going to win the championship.
I have Auburn over Houston 91-87.
And a cool fact is this is the second time in March Madness history that all the Final Four teams, as much as we hate to see it because it's not as exciting, all the Final Four teams are 1 seeds. So now on to NASCAR. It was a good race, but most of the time, more towards the end, it was dominated by Hamlin. The Ford showed up a little bit in the beginning, but Denny Hamlin able to dominate with Christopher Bell getting second, Wallace getting third. The whole podium wound up being Toyota's. Denny Hamlin gets his first win of the year. So next up, we have Darlington NASCAR predictions coming up this weekend, and I'll go first. I think it's going to be Chase Elliott who gets his first win of the year.
Yeah, I have Tyler Reddick at Darlington Speedway.
Yeah, I was going to go Elliott, but I do think Logano is going to take this. I think he's a great racer, and I think he can get it done.
Yeah, and next up, we're now on to Bristol, and Brandon, who you got?
I've got Hamlin.
I have Briscoe.
And I see Bristol, you can never predict what happens, and I actually see an upset win here with Ross Chastain taking it at Bristol. And now on to our IndyCar Long Beach predictions. Alex Palou, 2-0, has won both races of the season. I think, however, the streak is going to end here. I think he's still going to win a bunch of more races this year, but I think this race is going to go to Colton Herta, always a great driver, especially at this track.
Yeah, so I always say his name wrong, but I think the streak's going to continue. I have Alex Palou to continue his winning streak at Long Beach.
All right, now we're on to some NFL news. So Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf have had their first throwing session together recently. It has been a great throwing session for Aaron Rodgers to get used to what could be his new wide receivers. And also Trey McBride getting the big bucks right here, getting paid 4 years, $76 million, making him the highest paid tight end in NFL history. It's great to see the young tight end finally getting his bag. We also have some Cowboys news. So the Cowboys are trading from the Patriots Joe Milton III. They're trading Joe Milton and a 7th-round pick to the Cowboys in exchange for a 5th-round pick. He had a great combine, and he had an impressive game against the Bills' secondary or 3rd string, and that was, I think, the really game that made him worth the 5th-round pick, but I don't really think that was worth it too much.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it was also the game that cost the Patriots the #1 draft pick. So maybe some Patriots fans may be happy to see him gone. But next up, we're going to talk about some more NFL news. We talked about this last week as well. Russell Wilson signing to the New York Giants, and I want to know from each of you, do you think it's a good move or a bad move, and why?
I think it's a good move. I don't know how to feel about it too much, just because they already signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year, $8 million deal. But I don't know. You already have Jameis's energy in the locker room. I say you should have just took Jameis and then drafted Shador at 3, and then you could have had him, sit behind Jameis just to learn for experience. Maybe sit half and half. Maybe like what they did, kind of like with Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson on the Indianapolis Colts. They had some learning time. I do think Russell Wilson, I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback, because then their quarterback room would be Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Shador Sanders, and Tommy DeVito. I don't really think that's the greatest quarterback room, but I do think that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, I think this is an okay signing. Russell Wilson's a good quarterback, but he's not at the point of his career right now where he's going to lead the Giants to a playoff run, maybe just barely making the playoffs. So I think this could be a stepping stone year for the Giants into possibly next season or the season after that being a season where they make a playoff run.
Yeah, and I do think it's a good move for this season. It's not going to help the Giants, however, in the future, and still, the Giants still don't have all the great weapons, and Russell Wilson is getting old, so there's a lot of risk in this, but I see this mainly being a 1-year thing, but it's a good move to try to get a winning season in the folds for coaches and general managers that are trying to keep their job, and it's a good move for them, but for the Giants' future, I don't think it is. I do think, however, they still very well will draft a quarterback 3rd overall if the top 2 prospects are available then.
And next, we're going to my favorite part of every episode. We're going over to the MLB. So I'm going to start us off with a little update. So the Dodgers have surged into an impressive 8-0 start, continuing their winning streak from last year in the World Series. Shohei Ohtani had a walk-off home run against the Braves on April 2nd, and the Braves are not doing so hot right now. They have an 0-7 start, including Jurickson Profar suspension for using a steroid masking agent, and they are still anticipating the return of key players Ronald Acuna Jr. and Spencer Strider. We're going to start something new. We did this with the NFL. We would pick some games and we would predict them for the upcoming week. So we're going to do that again with MLB. So we're going to pick 2 games and we're going to predict them. So for my first game on April 9th, the Yankees will take on the Tigers. I think they're going to have a 7-3 win. And then on April 11th, I have the Yankees beating the Giants 5-2.
Yeah, I also have what Brendan said, but I do have the Yankees doing a little bit more. I think that they are improving so much. The first week hitting so many home runs that, massive, I think it was like a 16-point win at some point, and I do think it'll be maybe like 10-2 over the Tigers, maybe 10-4, depending on how they do. And against the Giants, I have them winning 8-3.
Yeah, and I got 2 different games. So I have the Red Sox taking on the Blue Jays on April 9th. I think the Red Sox dominate that one, winning 12-3. And I have the Phillies over the Braves on April 8th. I see the Phillies taking that one 5-2. And so next up, getting more into the MLB season, we are going to predict who is going to win each MLB division. So let's get started with the AL East. Brandon.
Yeah. So I've got the Yankees, obviously. This Yankees team, though losing Juan Soto, they had some amazing pickups over the season. Also some good pull-ups from the minors. And this isn't a Yankees team that is going to lose in the World Series last year and then just roll over and die this season. They're going to push their way right back into the postseason and have a good run again, hopefully winning another World Series.
I do think exactly what Brandon said. I'm also a New York fan. I love the Yankees because my family team. But I do have the Yankees winning the AL East. I think it's a great team. I think they're starting to actually lock in, I guess. Actually starting to hone in and get what they need to do offensively and defensively, and I think they're going to win the AL East.
Yeah, this is a tough division. All these teams are always phenomenal. They're just great teams overall, and I could see multiple teams in the division, maybe even all of them, definitely getting over 80 wins, maybe even 4 of them getting over 90, but at the end of the day, it really could be a flop-up for either or, but I got no surprise. I'm going with my Boston Red Sox taking the division. But I also see the Orioles coming in second, Rays in third, and Yankees back to fourth, but all still great records. Yankees, however, it'll be a rough year losing Soto. Yes, I know they still have great players, including Judge, but I think the division is just going to be too tough, and it's going to be it's going to be an interesting season, so we'll see.
All right, now on to the AL Central. I do have the Kansas City Royals. I think they are looking amazing this year. I think they're really starting to step back. I think Kansas City, just in general, is getting a better and better sports each year. So I do have the Royals taking this.
Yeah, I got to agree with Phil up there. I got the Royals.
I disagree with Benny and Philip here. I have the Tigers making a playoff appearance here and winning their division with Tariq Skubal being a great pitcher this year.
All right, so now we're on to the AL West. I do have the Houston Astros. They just won a championship a couple years ago. I think they still have some key players on offense and defense. I think this will be a very strong team, and I do think they're going to win their division.
Yeah, there's always 3 strong teams in this division with the Mariners, Rangers, and Astros. And I think it's going to come down to the Rangers or Astros this year, but it's always this team that's always on top, and I see the same thing happening again, so I got the Astros taking it.
Yeah, I have it also coming down to Astros, Rangers, but I just have it the other way around. I think Rangers are going to come out on top. They just seem like the better team. I feel like they're going to be the better team this season. Don't get me wrong, both of these teams, Astros and Rangers, are going to be good, but just the Rangers just end up coming on top at the end.
And now on to the NL East. I'll start me first. I have the Phillies. I think they're a great team. I think their roster, like I'm saying first, I think it's very well-rounded. I think it's great. Also, obviously you still have a couple holes, in your roster, but I do think this is a great team, and maybe they could even get a couple playoff wins.
Yeah, I don't think that this is even a question. I think the Phillies are gonna not easily, but they're gonna pretty much be assured that they're gonna win this division.
Yeah, Phillies. There's a reason why they won the World Series 2 years ago, and they've just gotten better ever since. Yeah, it's an easy one for me. I got the Phillies. And now on to the NL Central, and this is an interesting division. All teams, it's usually close in this one. It could be anyone's division, and I'll start with it. And I think it's going to be the Cubs winning this division.
I'm also going to agree with Benny. I do have the Cubs winning this. I don't see this as too much of a strong division, particularly, but I do think that the Cubs are going to win it.
Yeah, this isn't a particularly strong division. I'm going with the Cubs as well.
And now on to the NL West. Two great teams in this division, the Padres, Dodgers, also Giants, pretty good. Both teams undefeated as of yesterday. Not sure if they still are, but I think there's a reason why they just won the World Series, and I'm sticking with the Dodgers, getting like 107 wins this year as well, or maybe even more.
Yeah, I also have to go with the Dodgers. I mean, I really compare this division to the NFC North. I mean, you got one great, powerhouse team, and that to be the Lions, and then two other pretty good teams, but not two at the top. But I do think the Dodgers, just a loaded roster. I mean, they won it last year. They definitely can do it again. Sadly, it was over the Yankees last year, but I do think that they're going to win their division this year.
I have the Dodgers as well. I very well can see them making it back to the World Series again. Even possibly a Yankees-Dodgers rematch in the World Series for the Yankees-Dodgers, hopefully, and hopefully that goes a different way this season, but we'll see.
So, next up, with the NBA playoffs less than a week away, we are going to predict something that is going to happen in the playoffs. So, basically anything could happen. And one thing I have, based on the seeding right now, is I'm pretty sure they both clinched the 1 seed. Yeah, they have. We have the Thunder and the Cavs, both as the 1 seeds in the East and the West. I see neither of them making the finals. I think there are better teams out there that are going to show up in the playoffs. And then another one is the Warriors going on a playoff run. We've seen the Warriors do it before. We've also seen Jimmy Butler lead the Heat on a playoff run before, and both of those parts together, it's going to be hard not to see the Warriors go on a playoff run.
Yeah, I kind of have a little bit what Benny said. The Warriors, I mean, if you saw the Lakers-Warriors game, Steph kind of cooked Luka there for a little. But I do think that the Warriors could go on a playoff run. I also have the Lakers. I mean, I love, Luka, LeBron, A. Reeves. I think this is a great team. I really think they're very strong. I think they could work a little bit more on defensively, but I think that Luka and LeBron chemistry is really going to come in during the playoffs. I mean, I think that's when he's really going to shine. So I have the Lakers making it really close, maybe even winning it, but I highly doubt that.
And we're going to finish up our episode today with our lacrosse interview.
So today I am here with Miguel and Tristan Iglesias for lacrosse and varsity football interview questions about both sports, and thank you for coming today.
Of course, anytime.
And let's get started with the first question. So, just for both of you, in lacrosse, what position do you play and why did you choose that position?
I play midfield and attack. This year I'm playing attack, but most years I play midfield because I feel like it gives me an opportunity to play offense and defense and just run around and have fun.
I play attack in lacrosse. I play this position for the past 5 years. Just a good opportunity, score goals, play with your friends, have a good time.
Oh, very cool. And when you first started playing lacrosse, why did you start playing lacrosse?
I started playing lacrosse because I started off playing baseball and then I was introduced to lacrosse, and lacrosse is just a more fast-paced, high-contact game, and it was just a lot of fun. So that's why I gave up baseball to play lacrosse, and I'm very glad I did.
Yeah.
I started playing lacrosse. Well, I mean, when your older brother plays lacrosse, your parents kind of just sign you up for it. But I always wanted to play. All my friends did it. It always looked like a ton of fun.
The next question is, what are both of your strengths in lacrosse?
In lacrosse, I would say my speed and my lacrosse IQ is a good strength for me, as well as my ability to shoot the ball. It all kind of comes together when I'm playing.
I would say my strength is being able to use your body and like use your strength to like power through checks, players, whoever's like coming at you, and being able to find the open guy when like someone's like cutting or making an assist.
How did both of you work up to where you are now as a player in both football and lacrosse?
I would say when we were younger, our parents signed us up for a lot of various things and just helped us develop as we got older. Now working out and playing year round, always having the ball stick in your hand always helps.
Yeah, I think it comes a lot with like having brothers. You always have someone to compete with. It's the backyard, or you're going out to the turf with your parents and your brother siblings. And it's like always someone to help you push you harder, and it just like helps you succeed now.
Very cool. And how do you both handle pressure during games?
For me, I'm a very superstitious person, so I like to have a routine before games. I always eat the same thing, do the same routine before warm up, hit the wall. So being superstitious, it helps me in a way just to cope with the pressure almost.
To handle pressure, I mean, I'm not as like, superstitious as him, but I always like just like whether it's before a football game or a lacrosse game, you sit in the locker room, we head down, do a prayer, and I always listen to music with your buddies. And then it just like after that, it's just all like listen to the coach's speech, and then really when you get on the field, it's all like always staying calm and collected, and not like always rushing through everything, getting all spastic. You gotta stay under control.
All right. So next question is, what is something you do in practice to prepare for games?
For practice, I would say we, as offensive players, we shoot the ball a lot, and we do a lot of drills that involves the whole team, the whole offense, just to keep the chemistry going and make sure we're all on the same page. And we remember all the plays and different sets, and I feel like that's very important so you're not all over the place comes game day.
In both sports, football and lacrosse, there's always like we always have a scout team, like the players that will maybe not be starting, they're always helping out in practice, and they learn like, how the other team plays. In both sports, we indicate that into our practice, so we're always ready for our opponent.
All right. And now on to varsity football. So what position do both of you play, and why do you choose that position?
My whole life I played quarterback, and I always just thought it was always an opportunity for me to have my hands on the ball, whether I was handing it off, running or throwing it, and that's why I always loved that position because it always seemed as like a outstanding position. And then as high school came, I switched over to receiver for a couple of years because I had a couple guys ahead of me, and then this year I came back and played quarterback.
I always played quarterback up until this year. I picked quarterback because it's always like an opportunity to like really like be involved in the game and always like play your role and always like be involved with the play. I got moved to wide receiver this year, obviously with him playing the quarterback, and just to like understand the point of views from different spots in the field. So next year I'll be going back to quarterback for the next 2 years, and it should be fun.
And what professional NFL player would both of you compare yourself to?
I would say, I mean, to the NFL, there's not a lot of guys that I would compare myself to. I'm not nearly as high caliber as they are, but as growing up, I always loved Brett Favre and the way he played, an Aaron Rodgers type play. But now that I run the ball a lot more, maybe not nearly as good, but Josh Allen, he can throw the ball, he can run the ball, so a dual threat quarterback.
All right.
Yeah, obviously like we're not as like the same level with the NFL quarterbacks, but when it comes to play style, I mean, some of the guys I looked up to was like he said Aaron Rodgers, players like that. I was a big fan of Matt Stafford. He was always like one of the toughest guys in the field. He had a really good arm, and he wasn't afraid to like soak a hit or like make the big play when it was needed.
All right. And now, Tristan, this is a question for you. So, what does it mean to you to have the opportunity to succeed your brother as the next QB on the Tuskers next year?
It's cool. I mean, a lot of pressure with the like 3 state championship quarterbacks ahead of you years before. So, I mean, a lot of pressure comes with it. I'm really excited, get a chance to like show my skills, my talent, and just have a good time, maybe win a state championship.
Yeah, hopefully. And Miguel, this is a question for you. How does it feel to be a 3-time varsity football champion?
I mean, it feels great. I mean, doing it the first couple times was always awesome, and now this year as your senior year, it almost makes you, doing it your senior year makes it feel like it's kind of like your senior class gets to go out on a big bang, or 3-time state champion, so it almost makes it feel like this state championship was ours as a senior class, and it just means a lot to do that with your brothers, your friends, and it's always a bond that you have for the rest of your life that you've all done together.
Yeah, most definitely. And final question for today is, what is your most proudest moment in either sports?
For me, I would say for football, it's definitely winning the state championship this year and that was a great win, great season. We played a lot of good, difficult teams, difficult games, and it was really fun. And in lacrosse, I mean, it's my proudest moment is probably seeing how far our team has come. My freshman year, sophomore year, we kind of left a lot on the table. In these past couple of years, we can really see our team grow, and have gotten a lot better. So I would say seeing our team take big steps into getting better is probably my proudest moment.
All right.
For football, I've only played varsity for 1 year football, so I would definitely say I'm our state championship this past year. Like being able to like really be involved in the game, be out there in the field, and really just win one for like the seniors, the juniors, everyone ahead of you to get them a win in their last season. For lacrosse, I would definitely say similar to what he said, it's like the growth of our team. Like being on the team last year, I definitely think we left something out there on the table, and we had a great year, but we fell a little short. So this year we started off very strong. We looked good. I'm really excited to get back out there and go for a run.
All right, well, thank you both for coming in
Of
today.
course.
Thanks,
and
Benny.
good luck. We are the So Much Sports Broadcasting Club.
See you next week.